Gardeners and farmers have been fighting pests for centuries, often turning to chemical sprays, traps, or expensive interventions to keep crops safe. But, long before synthetic pesticides, there was a crop that did the work naturally, quietly, and consistently. A plant that attracts beneficial insects, repels destructive ones, and even improves soil fertility while doing so. It's largely forgotten today, overshadowed by modern convenience, yet when I tested it in my own garden, the results were undeniable. Within weeks, pests that normally ravage my vegetables disappeared, yields improved, and the ecosystem in the garden began balancing itself in a way that felt almost magical. Imagine being able to walk through your garden and see healthy, thriving plants without the constant worry of caterpillars, aphids, or beetles. No chemicals, no repeated spraying, just a smart approach grounded in centuries of observation and plant ecology. This isn't theoretical, it's actionable, historical, and sustainable. And today I'll explain what this crop is, why it works, and how you can use it to transform your garden into a resilient, pest-resistant ecosystem. The supercrop works because it balances your garden's natural ecosystem. Unlike traditional pest control that targets a single species, this crop operates on an ecological principle. It attracts predators while repelling pests. It releases natural chemical signals and provides habitat for beneficial insects like ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps. When I planted rows of this crop alongside my tomatoes and peppers, aphids and whiteflies, which had previously been a constant problem, almost vanished. Ladybugs and hoverflies moved in, establishing colonies that controlled the pest population without any additional intervention. For practical application, the key is placement. Plant the crop in strategic rows, between high-risk vegetables, or in clusters along the edges of your garden. This allows beneficial insects to patrol your crops efficiently and naturally reduce pest pressure. The result is a living pest control system that saves time, effort, and money while keeping your produce chemical-free. Another reason this crop is so effective is that it doesn't just interact with insects, it interacts with the soil itself. Its roots release compounds that enhance microbial activity, improve nutrient availability, and increase soil structure. In my garden, areas planted with this crop develop darker, looser soil, rich in humus, within a single growing season. Plants growing nearby showed increased vigor, likely due to both the enriched soil and reduced pest stress. To replicate this, rotate the supercrop with your main vegetable beds, or interplant it to provide continuous soil enrichment. Even if you don't harvest it for food, its ability to feed the soil while managing pests makes it an indispensable part of sustainable gardening. Over time, the soil becomes more resilient, and your entire garden benefits from lower pest pressure and healthier plants. The forgotten supercrop is not a silver bullet. Its full potential emerges when used in harmony with other plants. Companion planting really amplifies its effects. Herbs like basil or dill can attract additional beneficial insects, while marigolds enhance pest deterrence. In my experiments, pairing the supercrop with a mix of flowering companions created a complex, balanced ecosystem. Pests that once seemed unstoppable were reduced to minor nuisances, and flowering plants provided nectar and shelter for pollinators and predators alike. For gardeners, the practical takeaway is clear: integrate this crop with diverse plantings. Use it as part of a layered system rather than a standalone measure. By thinking in terms of ecological relationships, you're not just reducing pests. You're creating a sustainable, resilient garden that thrives year after year. One of the most remarkable things about this crop is its resilience. It grows in a variety of soils, requires minimal care, and reproduces readily. In my garden, I noticed that after the first season, self-seeded plants emerged naturally in fallow areas, further extending the pest control and soil enrichment benefits. This makes it ideal for both large-scale and backyard gardens, where repeated labour and intervention may not be feasible. To implement it, simply start small. Plant a few rows or clusters, observe how pests and beneficial insects respond, and gradually expand coverage over successive seasons. Maintenance involves occasional pruning or harvesting to prevent overcrowding, but otherwise it thrives on its own. Its low-maintenance nature makes it a practical, historical, and effective addition to any garden system. What impressed me most during this experiment is how the garden itself can solve its own problems when we give it the right tools. By introducing a single strategic crop, observing interactions, and combining it with other companion plants, I was able to reduce pests naturally, improve soil health, and enhance overall productivity, all without synthetic inputs. It's a lesson in patience, observation, and working with nature rather than against it. If you want to see more practical, historically grounded methods for sustainable, resilient gardening, make sure to subscribe to Hydrohaven and share this video with fellow enthusiasts who want to harness the forgotten wisdom of the past for modern backyard success.